Hi friends, today we're going to start working on writing our sentences for our picture story that we created. And you can see here I've drawn the objects in my section, my sections like I did on my whiteboard, and I copied the same exact thing for my apple picking story. So remember, we had a first, a next, a then, and a finally, and those are our order words. Okay, we could also say last here. That might be easier for you guys to remember, or end, last, finally. All those things are accurate. And so we're going to start crafting our first sentence today. All right, so I'm going to look at my first picture, which says first, F-I-R-S-T. And in the first picture, I can see that I am picking apples. So I'm going to write first, F-I-R-S-T. I'm going to put a comma. First, I, capital I, went, W-E-N-T, to, T-O, the, T-H-E, apple, A-P-P-L-E, and orchard. I didn't call this an orchard before, but that's what I'm going to write. That brings up a good point. If you have something that you're writing in your story that you don't know how to spell, you're just going to do your best, because we're not worrying about how our spelling is, or even really how our handwriting or our punctuation is. What we're really looking at is how to construct a story with a beginning, middle, and an end. All right, so I'm going to use the word orchard. An orchard is a whole bunch of apple trees all together. Orchard is a big word. O-R-C-H-A-R-D. So my first sentence says, first, I went to the apple orchard. Now my next thing that I did was I filled my basket. So I'm going to write next, N-E-X-T, comma, I, and since this is a story about myself, I'm using the word I because this is a first person story. We talked about that briefly last week. Next, I filled, F-I-L-L-E-D, my, M-Y, basket, B-A-S-K-E-T. All right, so now I have two sentences. I have my first sentence and my second sentence. So I've got a beginning and I'm working on my middle, because two things happen in the middle. I filled my basket and then I took them home. Okay, I can see I'm going to run out of room here. All right, next one is then. So I'm going to write the word then, T-H-E-N, comma, I, there's that personal pronoun again. Personal pronoun is how we refer to ourselves, and I am an I. Then I went home. W-E-N-T-H-O-M-E, spells home. Okay, and then, and this might happen to us sometimes in our writer's workshops when we do this. Then I went home. This isn't going to help you at all though, is it? Because you can't see the whole thing. I'm going to write the last one then. So finally I made a pie. So I'm going to write the word finally. F-I-N-A-L-L-Y. Finally, I made M-A-D-E-A, for A, I made a pie, P-I-E. Now, at the end of this last sentence, I'm kind of excited that I made a pie, so I'm going to use an exclamation point because that shows that I'm excited about my pie. I could even have a second to the last sentence, couldn't I? I could say, and then I ate my pie. So the story could go on, but what I want you to see is this right here, that you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So we're going to read this together, okay? First, I went to the apple orchard. Next, I filled my basket. Then I went home. Finally, I made a pie. So you can see there are 4 story parts and 4 sentences. So there's a sentence to match each one of these story parts. We're going to practice today just writing that very first sentence because sentence writing can be really, really tricky. This shows you how to do the whole process, and in class we'll work on how to write that first sentence together.